Hey guys, so we're back. Move that over. Of course, as soon as I was about to start, a lawnmower picked up outside, so I had to close my window. But whatever. So I'm just gonna show off really quick. Here's the models we got. So you guys saw me make most of these already. But yeah, you can see I did actually try to make a little hay net. I tried to kind of flatten it out in the back so it would kind of lean it better against a wall. And then we have a version that's just empty. We got apple, carrot, simple little sugar cube, technically speaking. I did a peppermint. I also did hay. I might make some more treats, I'm not sure yet. I put those as listed as hold because technically I don't need to do them. But yeah, this was my attempt at making something that kind of feels like a bale, or not bale, a handful of hay. Just kind of sort of having pieces sticking out of it and stuff, but a general sort of strung together piece of hay. Okay, so we have a few things that we can do. I'm gonna pull the list back up. So I'm thinking about making some more basic stuff. So pasture feeder, feed bags, feed bins, feed scoops. Let me get these ready. And I don't know how long we're gonna go. If we have some spare time, I might consider making some of the horse treats, because I think that would be fun. Let's see here. So we got all the actual food, so we have containers. Okay. I feel like I could use a third screen, honestly. Oh, there he goes on his little lawnmower thing. Alrighty, so let's do view, image plane, import image, pasture feeders. So unfortunately I don't have any of these perfectly from the side. I think I'm gonna try using this one since it's pretty close. We're probably gonna have to kind of just try to wing it a little bit, I think. Literally could have done this while I was at work with no calls, no streaming. Nope, gotta do it now. Jesus. Okay, so there's two ways I could do this. I could make a very simple shape and just have these edges technically be textures, which I think would be pretty easy to go with. It might not look as convincing is the problem. But this is the one I'm leaning towards. There's another one like this that also has a cover on it. I kind of like that, but I could just make the base and then if I want the cover, either include it and hide it if I don't want it, or just make it later. There's also like a bale container, but I think I like this one so far. I kind of like it. I kind of like how it's sort of accessible from all sides too. Try to look at like the other versions of this. So I think I'm probably, of course, going to make this a little bit more simplified. Oopsie. So let's tug this back so it's not so forward. So let's start by just making a little bit of a base. I don't think I need to make things like rounded, really, in regards to actually, you know what? If I'm gonna do that, I might as well just let's just make a normal sized box, and then let's just increase the height of it. That'll be a lot easier. So I need to move this out of the way so I can actually see chat. There we go. So I think the easiest way to do this is just to treat everything like a bunch of sticks, basically. So let's do that. And then we can pretty much just tilt this like so. And have it kind of go up like that. Hi, Ruth the Kool-Aid Man. How you doing? Try something like that. Maybe make this a little bit slightly more shallow. If I duplicate special this, okay, no, I went the wrong way. It's not the direction I wanted you to go in. Oh, shit. I know what that means. Dang it, we just got a error. Hold on, guys. Might have to, like, reopen this. Yep, it just crashed on me. I be a doin', I hope thou art also a doin'. I am definitely a doin'. Okay. At least I saved some of the small fixes I already made before I started this, because I did do a few small edits to the file, so I'm glad that those didn't get lost. Let's check this out. Why is the crash log up like that? Hello? Okay, we gotta back up. I am not sure why it crashed. I really hope it doesn't do that again. Okay, let's try this again. So import image. Gotta go into the pasture feeder. It might not have been, it might have just been that it wasn't happy with the way I was trying to do that duplicate special, given the fact it was kind of on a really weird rotation and stuff. So I'm hoping that's all it was, and it's just upsetty at me for doing that. Okay, let's try doing this now. And then let's actually just duplicate this and just make it a very thin thing here. Tug her in a little bit. A little thinner. And grab this and pull it up. But yeah, I mean, I'm used to Maya crashing on me, to be honest. That isn't new. by any means, unfortunately. So hopefully it's not going to plan on making a habit out of it. That's where I get a problem with this thing. Oh, did I? There we go. Okay. Actually, I'll just drag that out about halfway. That should be good. Can be on the inside of this. And then this won't need these edges. Might not need the bottom edge, but I'll keep the bottom edge for now. So it's basically a V-like shape now. I might stick with like a flat model, and then it's kind of going to depend on how I want to work with this. Yes, Maya does crash like New Vegas. Absolutely, and I hate it. But yeah, I think I might stick with like a flat version of this model as if I was like texturing pieces of it together, just for now, because I think that's going to be the easiest way to manage it. I will give this a tiny rim though, because I think that would look nice. Okay. I don't know if I want to do like a trough like this or just leave it as like kind of more like this. I'm kind of liking it like this, but I think we could do to pull this inside in a little like so, and then tug it down to actually make like a trough like set up here. So if we turn off the invisibility, this is basically what we're working with. And then what I'm kind of thinking is I'm going to put this whole thing together, and then I'm going to duplicate special it and get everything to merge back together. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab all these guys and we're going to get everybody to line up together, and that'll be nice and clean and duplicate over, and then we'll have the same object on both sides. Okay, I'm just going to paranoid save because Maya does tend to crash just as much as New Vegas does. And then we're going to make a little box. We're going to pull this box up. I'm going to duplicate it a couple times. My Kool-Aid had just crashed both the wall and the software. I crashed a little too hard. Oh my god, Rue. Okay. Let's go back into front view. So the idea is this should fit between the two, and then these two. Hey, there we go. That's like what I'm looking for. Okay, so one thing I'm thinking though, I don't have a horse in here, and I don't have a very good example of height, unfortunately. So, but I would imagine that a feeder would maybe be at about roughly the same height as the trough, right? Because, like, you don't want the horse to have to dip its head too low if it's trying to go after hay, maybe. So, like, this is kind of at about, like, belly height for this feeder, it looks like, based on the other photos I'm looking at. I mean, this photo and the other one. Oh, I paranoid save so much with these programs that love to crash. I mean, that's what I do in New Vegas. It's like, okay, guys, I'm paranoid saving. It's great. You kind of have to. You don't really get a choice, you know? Okay. So we're gonna grab all of this stuff. Did you grab everything? No, you didn't. Grab everything. And then we're gonna pull this up to the actual height level. So I'd say maybe about here is probably the level we want that at, and then we can increase the size of this to kind of better match what I'm aiming for. I wish I kind of had deleted the side here, but it's fine, it's workable. I'm just gonna pull this forward so I can have this as my comparison. There we go. Okay. So pull that over. Pull this over. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, and then grab all of these guys. Swap to vertex mode. Put it about something roughly like that, I think is okay, and then we'll tug this down a little. That's not too terrible. And then pull this up. Something a little like that. And this can get lifted a little bit higher and just tugged in slightly. Just trying to make sure that it's not really gonna... Trying to make sure it's not gonna stick out too badly from, like, within the bars, I'm thinking. Okay, and then we can pull this in a bit. Might have to tug the insides in so it's not sticking out so much. Ooh, not helpful. Mildly helpful. Maybe I'll skip trying to do that. Okay, let's grab the inside vertices of this. Oh god, that should stay on the same level. And now that stuff won't be so visible in there. So I can have this. Like so, and then we can grab all of these pieces. And the intention is to tuck them in enough that they're not gonna stick out past that, and then I need this inside piece to be pulled in just enough that we don't see them anymore. Hopefully. These guys all need to be even. Okay. And these should be even because I didn't mess with anything that was separated on them. So that should be good. I could technically just make these a little thinner too. Maybe something like that. I don't know if there's a name for this one. The thing I'm seeing on the other reference says Pierrefort. But there's like a few other versions that are like this. I can't read the brand on that one. Or this one. But yeah, I don't know if there's like a specific name for this style. It just says small feeder on my pictures. Yeah, I see quite a few different like levels for feeders. I don't think I want anything that's like too extremely high. I'm kind of feeling like if I'm gonna do a hay-based feeder, it maybe should be about the same height as what like a hay bag's gonna be. So like if I wanted to have animations, it should probably be at the same level so both of them could just use the same animation, hopefully. Unfortunately though, of course, I don't have a horse model, I don't have those animations yet, so I'm gonna just kind of have to guess at it for now. Yeah, and I agree on the belly height. That seems like a pretty fair enough one to go with, so I think that's what I'm gonna use. This is gonna work pretty well. There we go. So that gives us like half a feeder, basically. This is not as bad as I thought it was going to end up being, honestly. I thought this was going to be a lot harder to model. It's actually sort of decent. I'm going to duplicate these just in case I need them again later. And then let's show our junk area. So I'm going to add this to the junk group. Hide it again, just in case I need these separated for any reason, or at this point, what they look like at this point, I should say. And then we're going to combine this. Delete our history. And we'll duplicate special this. Of course, I have the wrong one chosen. Oh, that one's also wrong. There we go. Ugh, friggin'. Bugs are still trying to eat me even though I'm inside and I shut my window. Okay, so let's combine these guys again, grab all of these vertices, and then we're gonna merge them and get rid of the edges. Oh, I don't think somebody merged properly. That one seems fine. Yeah, that one's fine. So who is having a problem here? Oh, maybe it wasn't a problem. Maybe it was just my selection that was the issue. Alright, get rid of that. Okay, there we go. I don't think we have to worry about the inside of this, but if I wanted to, I could technically, like, duplicate this and... well, I technically only wanted to duplicate this part. I could duplicate this and kind of have it as like an inside, but I think, technically speaking, I think I could just reverse the textures, so, or show the same textures on the inside as on the outside. So it's going to show me the back facing of the polys, but I think I could probably do that with the textures without having to have like a second layer of the same object, if I'm understanding it right. It's gonna definitely be a situation of like, I'm just gonna have to kind of play around with it and see how I like it. But I think this could work, at least as like a first pass on a feeder. It's definitely something I'll have to play around with and see if I want to keep it more simple shaped like this, or if it's something I'm going to want to do more detail on. Because I think we could definitely get away with the pasture feeder being more simple, especially because you really shouldn't be seeing it up close that much. It's a pasture feeder, like, you probably won't, like, at best, maybe you're going to go out to it for like 2 seconds to fill it in. At worst, it's just going to be like way off in the distance of the background and you won't even notice. Like, it probably doesn't even need to be this detailed. It probably could be like a couple of boxes and you'd be good. You know? So yeah. Oh, I can delete this now. Okay. Oh, that's weird. What the heck? I don't know why it decided to do that. Odd. Anyways, we'll put that into the containers group. Okay, that's another model down, which is pretty sweet. So I can mark that off now. So we have a feed bag, bin, and scoop coming up. Okay. Trying to decide if I like the chonkier one or the normal looking, well, not normal looking, but like the slimmer bag. Here, you know what? I'll load both of them. Also, not hashtag sponsored by anything. Why are you not? Hello? Wait. Why aren't you letting me make it bigger? Okay. Weird. Ah, shit, what'd I just... Did I just remove something off the bottom of my bar? I feel like I hit something again and I don't know what I hit. Nope, it wasn't that. I have my outliner. Weird. Okay, well, whatever, I guess. Okay, what do you guys think? Also, why does this music feel like it's gotten like a lot louder in like the last 2 seconds? Do you guys like the Purina or the Triple Crown better? What do you guys think looks better? For like shape. I'm not talking about the horse on it, just the shape of the bag. What are we thinking? Do we want the chonky Triple Crown or do we want the sleek Purina? I'm glad you like it, Ruth. The feed, pasture feeder. I am always extra, and that's gonna be a problem with my models. It's like, my game's gonna have so much data on it because I can't stop frickin' putting tons of polys in my shit. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. I feel like as much as the Triple Crown kind of feels a bit more like what I'd actually see at a feed store. I mean, like, I was literally just at one, like, earlier this month, but I feel like if you're, like, looking for a traditional aesthetic, like, the red one, the Purina one, does feel like it actually fits that. The blue one kind of reminds me of the dog food we used to get, for our dog before he, passed. So yeah, I think I agree. I think I like the red one. The red one was what I was leaning towards in the first place anyways. So I'll probably stick with that. I mean, like, this one definitely feels like a dog food bag to me. This feels like kind of, I don't know, I guess they could be in the same kind of bag, but this one definitely feels like a horse food bag to me. Okay, let's see how well I can pull this off. Let's, actually, let's start with perspective view so I can work off of the base of the grid. And now let's go back to front view. There we go. So let's pull this up to the top. Now, I don't know if I want to have, like, the whole top of the bag stick out, like, that far. I don't think that's necessary. I'm gonna take a little bit of creative liberty with this. Let's see here. Let's like tug you in a little bit. And then let's recenter the pivot point. So the fun thing about this is going to be trying to do this in a 3-dimensional space because I need to give it a little bit of a rounded feel to it. Like, it doesn't need to be perfectly rounded, but I don't want it to... I don't want it to just feel like a box. Like, that would be a bit of a problem. Oh my god. Yeah, I love Maya, but I do not love how it just constantly is like, hey, let's pull up like a random fucking setting that you have no idea what you hit and you don't pay attention to it for more than 5 seconds, so you have no idea if you just hit something you really, really shouldn't have. God damn it, Maya. Okay. Yeah. Well, I do it all the time in frickin' Illustrator too, you know, like... drives me absolutely nuts. Okay, I want to pull this in, but I don't want to pull it in too far because then it's going to look weird. But this is supposed to pull outwards a little bit more. And then we can give it that sort of tag at the top, in a sense. So this would be like a very thin section at the top. I I could arguably even tug it out a little bit like this to really kind of give that feeling of like, it feels like the top of the bag. Like, I don't want to go crazy on it. That's the one thing, is I don't want to go nuts with this because it's just a bag. I want to be able to duplicate it a few times without it looking really stupid. Okay. Now I do have... let's see here. Let's use maybe the right view, I guess. Pull this forward a little bit. I do have... Whoops. I do have a image of like a random cat food bag I saw at the store. And I think I might use that for the side view. Why is it... You don't look like that in my image preview. Excuse you. Where's the... What? Why is it not showing up in here? Okay, I guess I'm gonna just reload it, but I'm gonna have to fix it in the thing. That's weird. I hate when my phone does that. Like, I'll save an image, or, you know, I'll take a photo, but, like, my phone just decides to randomly just go, how about we make this sideways when we load it in? Yeah! Like, load it on your computer. It's, like, the most annoying thing, I swear. Okay, I need this behind the bag. Alrighty, so I'm not gonna try to get this perfectly to match because that's gonna be dumb. But we do want something that vaguely feels a little bit more like this, so... Thinking. Do we want to have this inside piece kind of feel like... how do I put this? It's like, how much detail do we want? Right. Perspective, please. Thank you. Okay. Like, do we want to pull out these edges, maybe? Let's see how this looks. Okay. Yeah, because it should go out a little bit, right? Because it's like a feed bag. The cat food bag has, like, edges to it. Let me go look at my other images I got for the other horse stuff. Okay, so a sort of like 3/4 view of the Purina bag doesn't do that. So let's undo what we just did. Undo. So the Purina bag actually has like this interesting thing where let's try to get that about midway. It actually kind of goes inwards here. That's not what I wanted. I don't think this is gonna recreate the effect I'm looking for. Oh, you know what? It might. Hold on. Let's try adding another thing here and then swap back to working with the edges. And then let's try that. Okay, it does look really stupid. This might be a bit much for just a simple feed bag, but I'm playing around here. We're gonna see how this looks. So basically the Purina bag does something a little bit like this, except obviously it's a bit of a gentler thing. Actually, what does this look like? Oh, that looks absolutely stupid. But yeah, it basically has it kind of meet up at the top, which kind of makes sense. Okay, let's undo all that nonsense. So let's bring back our silly little side ones here. And then what if I did something like this and I just kind of pulled this in a little? God, I can still feel bug bites. It's like a little something like that. It feels like a very like low poly version of the appearance, and it is. But that's kind of what I was going for. So like, what if we just like tug this down a little? That's sort of it. It still feels very, feels kind of rough though. I feel like it might be almost a bit too much definition for something like this. Like, I feel like a feed bag might not need to be this detailed, arguably speaking. Okay, you need to move. You're in my way. Get back. Yeah, I don't know if I'm liking that. It kind of feels a little janky. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. I might leave the center stuff. Okay. I did something weird here. What do we have going on up here? I feel like I messed this up somehow. Yeah, I did. I did mess this up somehow. What is going on here? Because that doesn't make sense. How? Wait, how are you? Yeah, that's not supposed to... Okay, that's not supposed to work like that. Okay, I messed up big time. Let's see if I can go back far enough. I deleted something I wasn't supposed to. Oh no, wait, we need to keep the middle ones intact. So delete those. Okay, that I think fixed the weird little mistake I made. Get rid of that and that. Okay, yeah, I think that fixed that. Okay, so maybe let's just keep it something like that, and then if we wanted to, we could try something like this instead. And then this can kind of help give a sort of like rounded bake feel, I guess. That's not terrible. I think this top section's a little funky. Maybe tug this back in a little bit. God, these bugs are driving me nuts. I can feel them around my legs right now. And again, I don't have the window open. They're just flying around my stupid apartment. Okay, that evens that out a little bit more, and then we just pull the whole thing back in to kind of feel more like that zip top. Actually, you know what? I might just make the whole bag a little bit thinner together. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. It doesn't need to be anything like impressive. It doesn't need to have like perfect looking sides or anything. I mean, it looks like a feed bag. And then we can also turn, actually maybe not turn it that way, but turn it this way. If we put this like 90 degrees. Actually, no, maybe I will do, actually, let's do, nope. 90 degrees like that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it feel like it's sitting on its side, which means this needs to come down a little like so. And then I don't want to make it too thin. Well, something like this. This might actually not really rest against the ground, to be honest. It might actually be tilted a little bit like this. There we go. Do a little something like that. Maybe even let like the top of this kind of jut up a little. There we go. So now we have one that's kind of laying on its side that feels a bit more natural. Just the triangle part dipping inwards. If the whole side did that, it would look like the bag's empty. Yeah. Also, hi Clay. No worries about being late. All I did was kind of a model and a half, I guess. We got the pasture feeder done, and I just am wrapping up the feed bag. So this is like the standing feed bag, and then I just started working on a laying down feed bag. I might tuck this in just a little bit. Actually, I'd have to tuck these bottom ones in a little too. that could work. I'm not gonna mess around too much with the sides. Okay. So let's go ahead and scoot these two over here. Image plane can get moved under there. Oh wait, was that? Was that image? It was an image plane group? That's weird. Alright, move you under there. And then these two feed big standing, and then feed big laying. I'll put those under other because they don't quite, they're kind of containers, but they're not really. So I'll just put them under other for now, and I'll maybe reorganize the files, naming conventions later. Okay, back into front view we go, and then image plane, and I'll cross off that on our list. So next one I have is going to be a feed bin. Okay, so the feed bin, I don't know how much of this I'm gonna use a reference for in the sense of what I've been doing so far. Because these are relatively simple shapes. I've actually made a feed bin like this before in for modeling, for 3D modeling. So now it's just a matter of figuring out which one I actually want. I like the ones that have the inside spot to put stuff, but none of these are like a straight on view, which really sucks because that would be nice for reference. This one's probably the closest. Okay, so we're gonna go back into perspective view really quick, and then make a quick box. So with these, what I tend to see is the back top tends to be flat. This part comes down, typically. And then we're gonna have like a lid on this too. I should probably pull up my references on my other monitor, actually. Maybe I'll just scoot chat like further over or something. Just like reorganize a few things here. Close out of that. Okay, there we go. So that shouldn't be in my way anymore. The interesting part about this is trying to figure out how I want this without, how do I say this, like, I want it to still be something that could be like, you can pop it open, basically. I don't know if it would be useful in terms of what I plan on making, because I don't really know how that process is going to come out, but we'll see. Okay. So this is the general shape I want for sure. It's gonna be interesting. Because what we need to do is we also need to cut out the inside of this. So it's basically gonna work like this. What I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna separate this from the top. So I still have it. I still have the shape I need. Hopefully. If I don't adjust this too much. I really like this one that has kind of the indent on the side. I could probably pull that off with textures, but also extra, you know? Way too much extra. This is where I'm really wishing I had a person to compare the scale to. I think this is a relatively good size, because, like, this should probably put it at about, like, waist/hip height, I think. I could make it maybe a little bit taller. Let's just do it a little bit bigger. Let's do something like that. Okay, and then maybe just a tiny bit wider. I'm probably gonna have to cut this thing in two to keep it actually even. I'm gonna scoot this back just a little bit. Okay, that looks relatively square. I'm gonna put this down the middle. Let's actually start doing that. Oops. Separate these two as models so that I don't have them interacting with each other. Okay. So something I do want to do is I want to tug this in a little like so. What I'd like to do is kind of have an even thing all around as much as possible. Because I think it'd be neat to pull this in and have like a little fancy dancy thing. I might have done this on my last one too when I made this, but I just think it looks cool. So there we go. Put all of this at the same height. Okay, that works. And then we're gonna grab these edges and we're gonna tug them down to make the lip of the wood. If we want to get really specific on this, technically speaking, I'm gonna want to delete this segment. So what we're gonna do instead is this comes out. And then this would come down. This might be me getting way too much in the weeds, but I'm also kind of having fun with it. I kind of want to, I'm mostly like trying to see if I can replicate this one I'm looking at, see if I can pull this off. Okay. Actually, technically, I could just pull this up to the same level and just line it up. And then line everybody up. There we are. Then merge those two. And then pull this edge back down. Just a little bit. This, I hope, isn't gonna turn into 1, 2, 3, 4. A little iffy, just a little iffy. Okay, so technically this would come back like so, because it's supposed to be a plank here. And then this could actually extend outwards like so. Maybe merge those two together. And then grab the edges of this, but only on this side. And then we're gonna, oops, nope. Grab you as well. And we're gonna pull these guys all down. Flatten them out. They're gonna go down to the bottom. And this is gonna make up the base of our stuff here. This one's gonna get pulled down. Actually, where the heck are you going? Where's your edge? Okay. So this could probably come back up here. Put these two together. I think I'm doing that right. What do we have here? Who are you? Oh, I think it's just an extra edge in there I don't technically need. An extra face. Oh god. Trying to zoom in on Maya is such a nightmare sometimes, I swear. Especially when you're like trying to flick between certain spaces. Okay. Okay, there's nothing else there, which means I should be able to grab this edge and then pull this down to meet the rest of them. And that will make the inside of our box. Perfect. So I should technically just be able to merge these two together. And then start filling out the inside of this. Just by merging stuff together. There we are. And then this front-facing section here can get aesthetically pulled in just to look really cool. There we are. And delete that because we won't need that. Very good. Okay. So let's go ahead, try duplicating this wrong way. Duplicate again, there we go. Combine these two pieces together. Pull everybody in and merge. And there we go, we have the base of our feed bin. And if we need to extend the size of it, we can pull it out. And then what we're gonna need now is we're gonna need a small shelf in the back. That should do it. And then we're gonna need dividers underneath the shelf. So something like this. Pull those in, pull this up. Oh. Wait a second. I thought that was... Is that really that close to the edge of the... I guess it is. Yeah, well, let's just tug that backwards a little bit so it gives a little bit more breathing room. And pull you back in so you're still in between everything. This needs to fit like so. This needs to come back up. Technically, we don't need faces that we can't see. So we can get rid of those. And then this can get pulled down so it's about level with the rest of it, and then this can also get tugged down slightly. There we are. And then we just put our dividers in. And our dividers are a little tall. There. Not bad. It's about what I was looking for. If we want to be extra, a lot of these also have a little bit of extra wood across the top and inside of it, just to kind of help with probably stabilizing it, I'd assume. I don't know if I want to get that extra. Alright, you know what? I might end up deleting that just because it doesn't match up anymore. And then we're going to keep these outer faces. Delete everything else. And then we're going to grab all these edges, fill... Oh, you're not going to let me do the whole fill? Really? What about this? Yeah, you let me do that. Okay. So there we go. That gives us the perfect size of at least this section here. And then, do I have... Okay. So, if I want this to match the other thing, it's gonna have to stick out like this. And then the bottom is gonna go down a bit further, about like so. And then we just tug this down just a little bit further so it looks like it's kind of actually sitting on it. And then we're gonna pull this up, except we need to invert the faces on these guys, hopefully. And basically what we're gonna be dealing with here is... Ta-da! Oh, I think that's still backwards. There we go. Actually, let's fix that while it's closed. There we go. Ta-da! And you have that open. And then last part is just having... okay, so a lot of these tend to have a split down the middle, so that it's actually 2 instead of 1. So what we're going to need to do then is get these guys split. And then grab this edge. Yes, I'm still listening to the music. And then we're going to bridge. And bridge. And then grab everybody and just pull them in close. So it just feels like there is a slit in there. Very tiny one. Actually, maybe... yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Okay. I don't think that's perfectly even. Pull it over slightly, maybe. Probably close enough. Okay, and then we got hinges. Yeah, hinges and handles we could do, so let's make a quick torus. And then just reduce everything on this down quite a bit. Something like that. Set this up at 90. some of these don't technically have handles, but I kind of like the handle. I think in terms of like the top of, or like for the whatchamacallit, the base of the handle, I don't think I need to model that. I think that could be textured. And then just the handle itself sticks out, so I think this will be fine. I have to like check on my spacing with this stuff later, I swear. Okay, and then the last part you could argue would probably be working with the whatchamacallit? The hinges. There's supposed to be hinges on this. So for hinges, we can just do a very simplistic cylinder. God, I can't see where I'm putting this thing. There we go. And again, this can just be textured for the most part. So we just need to put this on there. Just throw a little hinge on and duplicate them. And there we go. And then this can get opened. If I separate the whole thing, you could technically open one at a time. Obviously those are not connected to this. I'd have to merge those into here. Actually, if I were to merge all of you together... Oh, wrong direction. Let's put you back in the center again. Yeah, that works pretty slick. Look at that, guys. Look at that. I'm digging it. Okay, so I think the top's gonna have to be separate, and then I'm probably going to have to duplicate these two to make one a singular piece, and the other one another singular piece, like so. I think, yeah, there we go. So by doing that now, that opens them up one at a time, which means I can fix their alignment to be like so. I would like it to... You know what? Actually, no, that's fine. That's fine. So if we grab both of these now, they still... Ooh, wait a second. Did that... Okay, it's a little... I'll have to figure out the hinges situation later. Maybe the hinges... Okay, hold on a second. Maybe the hinges... I don't think it's let me do that. Okay. Let's do this. Delete those. Delete those. Okay, hinges are their own thing, and then... Let's go back into here. Let's make the hinges part of the box and see how this goes. Because the hinges aren't supposed to move, you know? Okay, so it looks a little funky. I might have to adjust where the wood meets the rest of it, where the edge of the shelf meets it, but it technically works. That's gonna be a rigging issue later, so... Okay. So then I'm just gonna have to grab all of those parts then and merge everything but the tops. So combine everything else. So now this whole thing is one object. Why is your pivot messed up? I feel like the pivot's still messed up. There we go. There we go. Okay, my pivot's been fixed. It is a little funky, but I'm proud of it. It looks pretty good. Okay. So all of these can group together, and then we're gonna get rid of our history so we can get rid of all this gunk I just made. This can go back in the image planes. Don't really need you anymore. Okay, so now we have feed bin base. We have feed bin, lid 1. We'll just grab that name and duplicate it over. That'll automatically name it to 2. And then we have feed bin group. And this can go under containers because it is one. Okay, and we're gonna center our pivot. It can go over here. There we go. So there we go. We have a feed bin. I feel like I don't think my old feed bin was that bad, but like I feel like this feed bin feels a lot better in terms of design. Like, I wonder if I can find. Did I take it on my old shit? Yeah, this is definitely a little fancier than my old feed bin, so... I don't have a lot of photos of this, but... Do you guys want to see... Let's see if I can do this. This is one of the old photos I have of my old models. Yes, I would like to delete that, thank you. Unfortunately, I didn't get a very good picture without, like, the wireframe showing. I'll show you guys the other one. So these are all the old ones in comparison. Delete those. Stop asking me if I want to delete it. I'm doing it for a reason. This barn wasn't well designed. I didn't really try very hard with it. I just kind of did something. Really, I was just kind of like, I'm just gonna do it, you know? So those are some of my old meshes. I'm completely remaking everything because I just don't want to deal with the old files. I don't even know if I have any of the old files anymore. It's just, I just kind of deemed it as like, whatever. I'm just gonna remake everything anyways. Just gonna be easier. Alrighty. Save again. Paranoid saving. And then we have the feed scoop next. I can't believe we're only an hour and a half in. I don't know if I'm gonna stream for 3 full hours, by the way, just a heads up, guys, but I am glad to at least have gotten this far. View image plane. Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Pull up feed scoop, please. Okay, so this is technically our front view on this. It's also not going to be this honkin' huge. And then let's pull up side view. I hope I have the correct side chosen. It's gonna suck if I don't. So... Ah, shoot, I think the image is backwards. Yeah, the image is backwards. Okay. Can I just, like, make a copy of this? Why does it never save it to the same place that you got it from, I swear? Okay, let's just do a very quick flip. There we go. think that about roughly translates to the same size. Maybe make it just slightly smaller. I'll fix this as I go. Okay. So this is the feed scoop I decided to go with because, like, while there is, like, a better feed scoop, like this metal one I saw at the store, like, this one, this one's kind of, like, the more, I guess you could say, iconic feed scoop I see. I usually see this kind of style, at least in, like, horse content a lot more. I'm not saying it's a good feed scoop, I'm just saying it's what I usually see. Okay. So let's go with something like that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just add in stuff going along here. And then this one I think is going to make a bit more sense to pull up like that. I think I made a feed scoop before as well, but yeah, I kind of abandoned a whole bunch of the old models and I just don't really want to deal with them anymore. I almost wish I'd bought one of these just so I could have it in my hand, but like I was like, well, there's not really any purpose for me to own one. Like, I don't have anything I would scoop with it. So I just was kind of like, nah, I'm not gonna pick it up. It's not worth it, you know? I think that kind of works. I don't know if I should like bother trying to kind of like scoot it out like this a little bit. You know, so it kind of feels like it's kind of spreading out a little. I think if anything it's actually a bit more like, oh whoops, I just realized how dumb the back looks now. Let's do something like this and then get rid of these. I think it's a bit more in the sense of like, this kind of actually spreads out like so. That's kind of feeling feet scoopy. There we go. Oh, got missing space in here. Here we are. Now this isn't as nice and neatly rounded though, that's the one downside. I don't know if I should try bothering. Or if that's just gonna feel a little too extra, so to speak. That kind of works. It's not the most impressive feed scoop, I will say that though. I feel like this maybe, well, it doesn't quite fit to do that. What is it trying to do actually? Does that make sense? Like, what is, that doesn't feel like it makes sense. It feels like this should be up here with the rest of it. But then there's like this extra face in here that feels like it's messing it up, and that's weird. Like, to me this feels like this should be connected to this. And then maybe like same thing here. Connect that up and then just pull it back, and that feels like that's better for some reason. Okay. I think I'm probably gonna have to just cut this thing down the middle and like fix it that way. Because like I don't really want to do setup of both of these sides. Does feel like a feed scoop though. I'll give it that. And that feels like half a feed scoop. I don't think that's too bad. It's supposed to be a very minor object, so it's like if I put too many polys on it, it's gonna get a little ridiculous. Like, this definitely could be simplified quite a bit. So I don't want to go too balls to the walls on this, to be honest. Okay, let's merge all this stuff together and then hopefully grab all of these guys, pull them in, and then do that. We can get rid of you, because you don't need to be there. Okay, there we go. That's pretty nice. So I don't think I'm going to mess around too much with the feed scoop situation. just because, like I said, it's very straightforward. So let's do feed scoop. And then for this, it's actually going to be a lot smaller because it's going to be more handheld. Maybe let's turn you like 90 degrees. Put it down at like the same level roughly of everything else. So there we go, we got a feed scoop. Put you under other because you're not technically a container. So far so good. Okay, so that is another item done. Okay, I do not have references ready for most of the other items. So if I keep doing these kinds of items, the next stuff we have is like pitchfork, shovel, wheelbarrow, like tack racks, so like saddles, blankets, halters, etc. A mounting block, maybe like some floor straw or hay, manure pile, wash stall stuff. Okay, that's definitely not going to be something I'm going to model. That is going to get listed as on hold. And scratching post is definitely on hold as well. I'm not going to be doing those. Actually, scratching post could arguably go down here. Because you could put that outside. There we go. Put that there. Alrighty. Oh, I have 2 of those. I'll delete one of those. Don't need 2. Okay, so the only other stuff I could maybe model right now is some of the things I'm considering holding on, which is stuff like stall toys. I could potentially model some of like the treat ideas I had, which the ones I have currently that I was thinking about including would be an oatmeal ball, a molasses muffin, a heart cookie, and sweet squares, which are all pretty easy things to do. So for example, if I want to make the idea I had for a sweet square, it would be as easy as just making a rectangle because that was all it was going to be. I don't think there's any point in doing more to the model. It's just going to basically be kind of a like sheet of cut out pieces. So I'm just going to call this treat and then sweet square. I think that's what I called it. Yeah. So that can come over here. That's just a very simple thing. Maybe a little bit bigger. It's meant to be like kind of like if you just put like a whole bunch of stuff in a cake tin. So that one's simple. Another simple thing I can make is going to be let's call these treats. We'll do a little ball, which does not need to be high poly at all. Let's just start with 12 and see how that looks. Okay, probably could even go lower. Let's try 8. Yeah. How's 6 look? Yeah, I think that works. Okay. So we could use that, make that smaller. So these are just simple shapes to kind of work with textures for treats. And then this one would be the oatmeal ball. I tried to give them names that like insinuated what they were made out of, so it wasn't just like horse treat ball shape. This one probably could be made a little smaller. So yeah, more simple shapes just to act as horse treats. The molasses muffin and the heart cookie are a little bit simple as well. The heart cookie would probably be a little bit more tough to do. Muffin is super easy. The muffin's basically gonna just be a cylinder. And then let's reduce the subdivisions on you. Give it like maybe 10 subdivisions. I always fix it later. And then the inside, it's gonna pull in because it's just gonna be a little thing like this. And it's basically something like that. It's just a little muffin. Let me go look at the references again. Actually, this doesn't even pull in that far. It's actually a bit more like this. And kind of get like a little bit of a simple top to it. A lot of these people make them with the peppermints on them. So I was kind of thinking if I wanted to combine that, I could basically just grab a peppermint and just plop it on top. And I thought that'd be kind of cute. So make this a little bit bigger. Not too big. There you go, something like that. And you just basically pop a peppermint on top of it, and there you go, you got a peppermint muffin. So I thought that'd be kind of cute. So treat. And then this one is called a molasses muffin. That kinda roughly resembles it. Probably spread that out just a little bit more. So there we go, we got a molasses muffin. Alright, and the last one's gonna be a heart shape. So let's see here. These are gonna be heart cookies. Let's do top view. I do need a reference for this one because it's going to be a little bit harder to model. So these, I labeled these ones as like heart muffins, but the intention was to make like a cookie instead of a muffin, personally. How do we want to do this? I think a square could work, right? A square could probably work. Okay, let's do something like that. Go back to top view. Let's see how we can shape this thing to look more like a heart. I could also, I think, let's do a little something something. Copy this, because if we do it this way, I can actually see myself duplicating the effects on the other side, which is cool. Actually, let's just get that basic shape in here before we do anything. Let's do a little something something like this. So it feels actually heart-shaped. I think these ones are like probably the cutest, honestly. And then combine these, grab their vertexes, pull them together, and then merge them. And I don't think I have... yeah, there shouldn't be any faces on the inside, so... this over there, throw it in the image plane group, and then over here, you just add a very simple little indent. And then these are supposed to be cookies, so we just make them a little bit flat. And there we go, we got a little heart-shaped cookie. I think that looks adorable. Pull that over here, size it down to match everything else. Want about the same size as this thing here, just a little bit flatter. Complete our history, make sure that centers. Sweet treat, we'll call this heart cookie. These ones I'm so excited to try and texture for because I think they're gonna look so cute, honestly. Okay. So the other models I have listed that I could do for the food stuff is gonna be like a salt block that hangs, which I'm not super interested in making right now. A Jolly Apple toy, a general hanging snack, just like string of snacks for horses, an ice snack, and a treat/hay ball. All of those I think I'm gonna hold on because one, I don't know if I want to have anything to do with like stall decorations like toys and treats, and two, I'm not super crazy about those objects, so they will be on pause for now. Same thing as like the grooming supplies for like clippers, the sweat scraper, and the shedder. I just don't feel like making them. I don't think they're super necessary, so those get to stay on hold. All the other stuff I'm looking at possibly modeling is going to take a minute because I need to look for references, so I'm not going to do those tonight. And then I think in general the rest of this stuff I'm probably going to hold on. I have some stuff like a truck and a horse trailer and stuff I'm also considering modeling, but I'm not very good with cars, period, so I don't know if that's something I'm going to bother modeling anytime soon. It would be nice to have as like a background object. Both that and the truck, or both the truck and the trailer. But I feel like that might be a bit much. I mean, some stuff in here isn't too bad. Like there is... You know what? Why do I have these as two separate things? Like just put this as other, honestly. I'm just gonna make the whole thing other. I don't know why I did that separate. There we go. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, basically all of these other ones I'm gonna need to look up some references for and decide on how I want to go about them. Once we're done with these horse objects, as far as what I'm interested in modeling, I don't know where I'm gonna go with some of the models because I'm still working on a lot of concept pieces. I do want to eventually do an actual horse model, not just me kind of messing around and being silly. And then the other stuff I'm looking at is a lot of like environmental, natural items possibly. So I might dig into those, but I'm going to need to kind of plan those out a little bit better because the horse objects are pretty easy to kind of be like, oh yeah, I'll just do a carrot, I'll just do a feed bin. A lot of that stuff's very straightforward. Some of these other ones, I don't really know how I want to approach them. I don't really know... I'm still kind of figuring out some stuff with style. This stuff, style is mostly going to be in the texture. Like, this handle, this is, like, predominantly just kind of getting a general shape on stuff. But the other things, like trees and whatnot, I need to figure out how I actually want to manage those. So it's going to be a little bit more complicated. A lot of the random decorative objects shouldn't be too hard to try and recreate. Just because it's literally just random objects, kind of like what I'm doing here. So we might go into those just kind of for fun. It won't be horse focused for the most part. It'll just be random things, like I might make objects for like the inside of a house, like bed, couch, tables, junk like that. Could be random outside objects. I have like a whole bunch of ideas written down. And the general thought process for that kind of stuff is more in the line of I just want to model stuff, and I could use these for a horse game, or I could use these in other places, like animations, other games, etc. Just as my own personal objects that are already made and hopefully eventually textured. I would like to get back into texturing, but I'm kind of just trying to dip my toes with what I know, which is modeling. I'm good with modeling. So, okay, I think I'm going to call it done here. 2 hours isn't too bad. We got a lot of these models finished. You guys got to see a lot of the stuff that, you know, I was working on briefly between streams. I'm really happy with how all of these turned out. I think like the hay bales and everything like that, those are going to need a little bit more work, but otherwise I think the rest of these objects are pretty cool. I just realized this is kind of big. Let's size you down just a wee bit so you're not so honking huge. Jesus. I'm also gonna grab the edges of this. Just pull those in a little so it doesn't feel so big. Or so spread out, rather. There we go. Yeah, because I already did that on the other one. Just 10% of your modeling speed will do. Oh my god, Ruth. Yeah, sure. I like modeling. It's one of my favorite things. Modeling and rigging. I need to get back into rigging too. Now, if you try to put me in Blender, though, I'm not going to be as fast as I am on here, though. Like, Maya is my baby because I've been working with this since college, so yeah. And then we can put the treats back in here with the rest of them. Okay, there we go. All those references are put away. Alrighty, so I'm gonna wrap up stream there. Like I said, I don't know how things are gonna be panning out. I do want to keep trying to do, like, get back into my streams and stuff. I might do other art stuff. I might do more sketching. We'll kind of just play it by ear. Part of the reason why I also want to start working on some of these models is I think it'd be really fun to work on textures. Or at the very least, if I don't actually get these things working with like UV maps for texturing purposes, I just kind of thought it would be really cool to make like, you know, custom brands and stuff and like design like maybe an Illustrator or Clip or something, like design different like, you know, labels and stuff. So like horse feed or shampoos or something. I just thought it'd be fun. So I might do some of that too. We'll kind of see. I have a lot of really cute, fun ideas I kind of want to play around with, so I'm just using this as a fodder for me to get back into modeling at this point, so there's not really a ton of rhyme or reason behind anything. Right now it's just kind of like a mixture of that, plus obviously I want to make models for a future horse game, just so I have stuff to go to, but also just modeling in general is fun for me, so that's a lot of the reason why I'm doing this stuff instead of just kind of, yes, I have a specific idea for a horse game in mind, and this is gonna be for that. No, it's not. It is very much just me going, guys, I miss modeling, and I need something to keep me focused that isn't gonna blast my brain to pieces. Because I'm like, I would love to model a horse right now. I've made a couple attempts at modeling horses, but I just get very overwhelmed very easily with them because they're organics and I need to work on my organic modeling. So even when I'm on my own, I'm just like, oh, it's a bit much. So I want to build my way up there. I want to work on a couple things. I have some really fun ideas for animals too. I might sketch those. So we'll kind of see. We'll see where stuff goes. But thank you guys for joining me. I hope you had some fun with this. I'm excited to kind of keep the ball rolling when I can. When everything works. But yeah, I want to work on more models. I want to share more stuff with you guys, be it 2D, 3D, in general. We'll see where gaming stuff is gonna go. I have a couple ideas with that, but we'll see if I could keep New Vegas running for a little bit. If not, then might have to take a break from New Vegas and move on to the next thing, so we'll see. But yes, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!